Okay, so Tom King is writing this Wonder Woman comic because Tom King has to do what Tom King does, and that is tear down heroes and make stories that make no sense. Though, initially, when this whole thing was conceived, I had said that to me this sounds like a cheap knockoff of Marvel's Civil War, and nothing in it seems to tell me differently. It is that, it makes less and less sense as you go through it, but that's kind of what they're doing. In this book, portraying men bad, government bad, Amazons, this all kind of nonsense. It's a real cluster of nonsense. But let's go through exactly what happens in this book so you can understand my skepticism when it comes to it, right? Now, the book starts off with this Amazon is apparently in a bar and they're playing pool, and I don't know, some guy tries to pick her up and I think he touches her or something like that. So what does she do? She automatically attacks the guy and breaks his arm, smashing him into a table, all of that, and then just kills him. I mean, straight up stomps on him and breaks his neck. So his cousin is in there and he just witnessed you murder his cousin. So he attacks you with a pole cue that breaks across her face. So she picks him up and she kills him too. Now, at this point, the other men in the bar see this happening and they're thinking, well, we have to stop this woman. She's clearly deranged, right? There were 19 men in this bar. She killed all of them. And I think there were like 3 or 4 women and she let them live. Now, here's the problem with this, right? Here's the real problem with this. Any given situation, it happened first with the first guy that she killed, then his cousin, then the others came in. By the time she kills like the 3rd or 4th person, everybody else is going to think to themselves, this chick is crazy, strong, and insane. Let's get out of here. So she actively had to hunt them down and murder them to keep them from leaving the bar. You are clearly a criminal. That's what it is. You are a criminal. She murdered these people in the bar like it was, somehow supposed to be okay. And then she just escaped. Nobody sees her anymore. She killed these people. And then the entire story just devolves into like some kind of weird political debate and people talking about all kind of nonsense. There's this news coverage talking about 7 days have passed since the killings, and authorities tell us that there's a suspect and they are working to identify her, and yes, we can confirm they did see her and all of this thing. And then they talk about how it's confirmed that it's an Amazon and the Amazon ambassador has now verified and all this stuff, and all of this is going on. And while all of this is going on, you're not seeing Wonder Woman at all. She's not showing up. She's not making a statement, nothing like that. She's just not there. And it just keeps literally spiraling, and really quickly, one Amazon who did this, and it's like suddenly they want to blame all Amazons for everything. One Amazon did it, that is one. But somehow they want to blame every Amazon and talk about how they're dangerous and any other, even though the others have done nothing. And apparently for some reason there are like hundreds of Amazons living in the United States now, which makes no sense. I thought they were all living on Paradise Island. I mean, I could understand maybe 2 or 3 if you think that, but Diana leaving with Steve to come to man's world was kind of iconic. That would made it think the rest of them were living on the island in bliss. But apparently hundreds of them have now moved to the United States just because. So they're trying to play some kind of weird immigration story along with it, and it just doesn't seem to make sense. They also try to turn this into a Sergeant Steele story for some reason. They try to make it like, he's really important. It just doesn't seem to be working out. Then they get to this point where there's this man who's being interviewed, and his daughter's talking about how she loves Wonder Woman. He says how his daughter dressed up as Wonder Woman, but then he says some really weird stuff. He's like, but everyone knows these people got a way that isn't at all American. They just think that one kind of person is better than another, and that means they hate the other kind. Where the hell did that even come from? Continues on. And with this thing, you see what they really want. Like it's a form of genocide if you know the truth. It goes on. These Amazons want to push us out of our own country. They want a world like their island where everything is like there's no room. There's no room there for real families. Hell, I mean, open your eyes, not a man there, and they call the damn place paradise. And while he's doing that, his daughter there, she's all ping ping. I love Wonder Woman. It's really weird. I mean, like, how is any of this supposed to be making some kind of sense? Like, the Amazons want to push us out of our country. There was one woman who did this, but you're somehow acting like, Amazons have declared open war on the United States to just take it over. It's really, really ridiculous. And he goes on, I'm just saying what every dude is saying. We got to do something before they wipe us all out. How are they going to wipe you out? Why would they want to wipe you out? Just, So then, apparently, Congress passed the Amazon Safety Act. And it was signed by the president, and then it was read into law. And they put together this task force called ACTS to get these Amazons to leave. And apparently, Nubia, who's queen of the Amazons, now for some reason, and they keep saying Nubia is so amazing, Nubia is the best queen ever, Nubia is this. She gave an order for all Amazons to return to Themyscira, and they just straight up ignored her. They were like, well, some of them left, but the others were like, you know what, screw you. We're just going to stay. And they were getting a hunted down. So you had this one where Sergeant Steele shows up at this Amazon's house. Apparently, she and her wife, who's also an Amazon, because they need to put that in there, and they have some adopted daughter, and they're living there. He shows up there with a armed unit to get them to leave, right? Because they're part of the Amazon extradition entity, ACTS for short. And he's telling her that, they need to take themselves and their daughter and get the hell out. But then apparently the other Amazon woman decides she's going to put on armor and shout out for paradise and charge at them, swinging a sword so they shoot her dead. Because that's the way you do things. They literally just mow her down in the street for doing that. Right in front of her wife, I guess, and then the little girl comes out and it's, Mommy, what was that? And then she sees her dead dad, she's crying and screaming, Mommy, and then you get to the point where it is, you see that they're arresting Amazons to deport them, shooting some of them dead in the fields, taking children away. It's really freaking weird, I'm telling you. And while all of this is going on, no Wonder Woman still. She's not anywhere to be seen, hasn't shown up, anything. This would have been a really good time for her to make an appearance and, say something, do something. But no, all of this is going on. Apparently, it's been going on for weeks, and she's nowhere to be found. When does she eventually show up? Towards the very end of the book, Steele goes with his armed task force to some cemetery, and Wonder Woman is there, and they literally try to shoot her without any kind of warning. She blocks the bullets and then proceeds to beat the crap out of all of them there using her lasso and skills that she has because she's Wonder Woman. That's what she's doing, because that's supposed to make sense, which none of this does, because one Amazon lunatic killed some guy and somehow now you're hunting them all down and shooting them dead in the streets because that's somehow to stop them from taking over America. It's really stupid. Like really, really stupid. So Wonder Woman easily deals with all of them. Then, Steve talking on camera and he says, we did not fear anyone, neither men nor gods, the government, Batman, Superman, the Justice League. None of them could ever hope to touch us, but her. We were buffoons. We should have feared her. Like apparently, Wonder Woman is so terrifying. You need to fear her. I mean, she's an Amazon, a demigod, but you did just shoot a bunch of them dead. But okay, she's Wonder Woman, no problem. See, that's what happens. So she takes them all out, and there's a sniper up in the tree to shoot her. She takes him down and has the lasso on him, and she's talking with Steel and all kind of stuff and want to do that. Steel tries to attack her. She easily catches his metallic hand and crushes it because that's supposed to be, and now she is somehow the most wanted in America, and they put out some kind of arrest warrant on Wonder Woman, and it's all over the social media and all kind of stuff because that's what happens. And then we get to find out something even more stupid. She goes to see Steve Trevor, and she tells him that she got some information. That the one behind this isn't some general or the president. She asked him, Steve, have you heard of anyone called the Sovereign? And apparently the Sovereign, of course, is not some person who's been around for God alone knows how long, and he's the one who's really in charge of the United States, and he's pulling strings behind the scenes. And then somebody puts a crown on his head, and you see all of this here. He's got medals all on his jacket, and the eagle there, and a crown, and he has the lasso of lies. Because you already have the lasso of truth, he has to have the lasso of lies. I mean, they might as well have just put Trump's face on this guy, and that would have been the end of it. This book is just really weird and confusing. I mean, like, one lunatic woman kills some people, and the whole thing just escalates into let's hunt down all the Amazons and shoot them dead at any point that we want to. Apparently, there's now hundreds of Amazons living in the United States because apparently paradise isn't so paradise anymore. And now we found out that the one pulling the strings behind the scenes is some sovereign who has been manipulating America, and he's the one in charge from the very beginning, and he has the lasso of lies. Because Wonder Woman has the lasso of truth, he has to have the lasso of lies. I mean, you could have just had him have some kind of mind control ability, but God forbid they ever do that. Look, Tom King does what Tom King does, and once again, this is another Tom King nonsense. I don't see anything interesting at all in this book. This thing escalated to some kind of weird political nonsense very quickly, and it just I shouldn't say it made no sense whatsoever, but for some reason they figured this was going to work. So, I guess that's what Tom King is going to do, but to me, it's just very confusing and weird, and you bring in Wonder Woman at the end, not while all of this is going on, not while the Amazons are being hunted down and killed, No, she comes in at the end because white man bad, and then they put out an arrest warrant for her, and, Nubia, who they're saying is so amazing and all of that. She told the Amazons, come home, and the majority of them told her, you know what, screw yourself, we're going to stay. But that's it for me in regards to this nonsense. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell if I ever upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.